Hi, grade 12. So we are still busy with the F formula, but in this example, our last payment is not at the end of our savings period, eh? So this is a special example. So let's look at example number 12 here. It says Hannes invests 1,000 rand per month for 4 years. Okay, so he makes a regular payment for 4 years. He pays at the beginning of each month. The special part is no payment is made at the end of the last month, at the end of the 4 years. That's the special part. The interest rate is 9% per annum compounded monthly. How much money will he have in his account after 4 years? So, okay, let's start. First thing, we are busy with the F formula because there are regular payments, monthly payments, and it's an investment. So it's a savings account, eh? So our question mark is F because the question is how much money will be in the account after 4 years. X is 1,000 rand because that's how much she puts away each month. Interest is 9,5 over 100, which will give me 0,095 compounded monthly. And then N is the number of payments. Let's quickly work out the number of payments. So T0 is at the beginning of the month, eh? So now T1 is at the beginning of the second month. T2 is at the beginning of the third month because now you're just paying at the beginning of the month. So if this is for 4 years and you are making monthly payments, then you must make 48 payments, eh? So this is T48, but there's no payment at the end, eh? So T47 is when you make your last payment. So beginning of each month, so there's 1,000. Beginning of the third month, beginning of the 48th month. Remember, this is the end of the 48th month, eh? So over here, there's no payment. Okay, so this is our last payment. This will be our last payment, and this will be our first payment. So the number of payments, so this N, which is the number of payments, is from T0 to T47. If you have to count that, you will get 48 payments. So this is 48 payments, eh? So N is 48. So that's 48. And let's work out how much money will be in the account here at the end of the 48th month. Okay? So don't confuse months with payments, eh? That's the trick over here. Don't confuse the months with the number of payments. So, okay, let's go on. We're only going to use the F formula from here to there. That is the F formula. Because with the F formula, you need a last payment here at the end. So the F formula is only for that part, eh? So I'm going to use the F formula to determine how much money I will have here at the end of the 47th month. So remember, the end of month 47 is the same as the beginning of month 48. Eh? It's the same thing. So, okay, I'm going to put in the F formula for that whole thing there. So, let's write our formula down first. Okay, so I wrote my formula down. I don't know what F is, but I know my monthly payment is 1,000. My interest is 0,095 compounded monthly. And remember, I said the number of payments is 48. Okay, and that is over the same interest. All of this on your calculator. And I get my answer to be 58,117,67. Okay, this is how much money you will have in the account at this point. But that wasn't the question. The question is how much money will be in the account at that point. So now, the amount of money you will have here will now still grow for another month. Okay? So that money will be left there with no payment and it will just grow for another month. So now I'm going to take this amount and I'm going to grow that money for 1 month. So when money grows and there's no payment, it's the A formula. So it's compound interest. And A, I don't know what A is, but P is the amount that I'm going to leave in the account. And that amount will grow with the same interest, compounded monthly. And it will grow. It will grow for 1 month, eh? So a 1 over there. So this 1 over here. So let's just make a note. I just want to make a note on that 1 over there. So that number over here is normally the number of years times the compounding period, eh? So that's normally what that is, eh? So 1 month, because the money will only grow for 1 month. 1 month is 1 over 12 years. That's 1 month. So I'm going to say 1 month, that's the number of years, times the compounding period, which is 12. If you multiply those two, you get 1. And that's where the 1 comes from. Okay? So if it was for 2 months, you would have a 2 year. You would say 2 over 12 years. And then times 12. And then you would have a 2 year. Okay? But remember, the reason why I'm telling you that is it's not always 12 over here. So it's not always 12 over there. Okay, so that's that one. Put all of that in the calculator and you will get your final amount is 58,577.77. That's how much money is in the account of the month 48. So at this point here, that's how much money is in the account. Okay, so that's how you do the special case of a formula when the last payment is not at the end.